Good evening and welcome to the Bellas 2020. Admittedly, we've had a couple of false starts, but not enough to dampen the spirits of the licensing community. No way. Who would have ever thought at the start of this year that we wouldn't be allowed to hold our usual lovely social lunchtime event in April, or indeed in July, or even in November? But you just can't keep a good industry down. And what better great excuse to drink with your friends and colleagues on a Monday night than the Bellas? And one of the benefits of holding this awards event virtually is that we're not constrained by the four walls of a physical location. This means that right now, the Bellas are being watched all around the world and by many, many more members of the brand licensing community than ever before. And it's been great to hear of the plans of how so many of you have your whole team here tonight. There was no way we ever contemplated cancelling the Bellas. The entries and the resultant finalists lineup is just so impressive that their achievements deserve to be recognised. Putting the audiovisual together for tonight's ceremony really was a treat, as it meant revisiting the product innovation, the retailing excellence, and the strong licensor programmes, which collectively paint a joyful picture of just how many new brands, licensees and retailers have embraced brand licensing like never before. The UK brand and lifestyle licensing sector is a veritable shop window of excellence, of which you are all a part and should rightfully feel very proud. Talking of excellence, I'd now like to hand over to someone worthy of that descriptor. But in the meantime, here's Ian.
Thanks, Jax. I so miss hearing your lovely comments every day in the office. Unbelievably, this is the 5th year of the Bellas, and the ensuing years have seen the awards grow in stature in line with the evolution of the sector. It is wonderful that many of our sponsors have been with us since the start, and we have been delighted to welcome a host of new sponsors along the way. Never have I felt more humbled by the wholehearted support from all our sponsors to ensure that this digital awards event can take place. Thank you, it means so much. Thanks also to all of our extended team, especially Rob, Sam, Amanda and Claire. We have all shared some dark times over the last few months, and without their help and friendship, we could never have pulled this off. Some of you have already been enjoying meeting up in the session rooms for pre-awards drinks. But for those who haven't, don't worry, there's plenty of time to catch up after the awards presentation. We'll be keeping the session rooms open until late. After the awards ceremony, all you need to do is to go to the session room section of the site and click on the logo of the room you'd like to pop into. Please post the photos of your session room meetups or of you watching the awards to #Bellas20. And our Twitter feed this year is being sponsored by Emoji. Thank you so much, Emoji. And if you are a winner, you don't even have to worry about losing your trophy in the pub. And you've also saved the cost of a taxi to your bed. And now, onto the awards event itself. We have the voice of the balls and Strictly Come Dancing, Mr. Alan Didicott himself, to announce the finalists before cutting to our sponsors to reveal the actual winners. We have created real trophies, and if you are a winner, you will receive yours over the next few days. In keeping with a Bellas popular tradition, you are now in for a real treat of a pre-awards guest speaker, someone who's risen to prominence in all our lives over the last few years. Winning the BBC's Great British Bake Off in 2015 marked the start of a meteoric rise into the hearts and minds of the public that led to the development of our own licensing programme, which remains true to our ideals and principles. She is a very special person, and we are delighted that she is the icing on the cake of the Bellas 2020. Here she is, the one and only Nadia, sharing her story with our Sam Loveday.
Thank you for chatting to us today, Nadia. It's great to have you with us. It's been a whirlwind 5 years for you, from winning the Great British Bake Off to publishing numerous books, creating and starring in several TV shows, and now, of course, the move into licensed products. But can we go back to where it all started for you? A little bit of background, perhaps. Were you always a baker? Does it run in the family?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Yeah, I think for me, baking wasn't something that I grew up with. My mom never bakes. She doesn't even bake now. So she's an amazing cook. Dad ran restaurants. But baking was something that I kind of got into when I moved out, got married, pregnant with my first child. And I was like, oh, I don't have a mom telling me off for using eggs, and I could just kind of do whatever I want. I think it's my first little taste of freedom. And that's when I started to bake. But cooking was something that I've been doing since the age of, so I've been very comfortable in the kitchen long before double digits. So being in the kitchen has always been really comfortable, not necessarily baking. I've only really been baking for about 16 years, so not that long.
So what would be some of your earliest cooking memories? If you say that, would they be from your father?
Gosh, yeah, like my mum was the kind of person who, she had 6 kids to look after. She never encouraged us to get in the kitchen. She was just like, get out. I just want to feed you. I just want to clean the kitchen and get out of it. So for her, it was very much a chore. It was a task. It was a job that needed doing, just like laundry and cleaning bathrooms and other things. So she just got in and out. Whereas dad was the kind of, he's really experimental. He'd come home with yellow sticker ingredients from the supermarket and say, oh, should we have a look? Should we do this? Should we try that? So we would always, my dad's quite experimental. So I definitely got that from him. But I really started cooking back in Bangladesh when I was maybe 6 or 7. My granddad would dig a hole. So just to get the kids out from under the women's feet, my granddad would dig a hole and he'd help us start a fire. And then he'd say, which chicken would you like to eat? And he had a farm. So it was, we picked the chicken, we killed the chicken, we ate the chicken, we cooked the chicken, we did all of that. So I really started cooking at the age of 6 or 7. Baking came much later.
So in your show, Nadia Bakes, when you introduce it, you describe baking as your happy place. How do you think attitudes towards home baking have changed, in particular this year? And do you think that your description is now true for a lot of people?
I think for many people long before the pandemic, baking has been one of those things that have really, they really allow you to kind of like just focus on one thing, because I think we've got this, of course, we live in a world where everything's so quick, so fast paced. So, like we're just constant move, go, go, go. And I think baking allows me to just kind of focus on one thing and not worry about everything else. And that's what I love about baking. And I think over the last, this year, I think people have really been given the opportunity, been given the gift of time, to be able to spend time at home and do something they perhaps some people otherwise would never have done. And I think baking has given us a solace at a time that has been really difficult. And I think we must never forget that. I think it's really important to remember what being in our kitchen space has given us for lots of us. And for some of us, it comes naturally to be in the kitchen. For others, not so much. But I think over this year, lots of people have really welcomed the kind of comfort you get out of just baking in the kitchen.
Absolutely. Moving on, you have been nominated for Best Licensed Fashion or Talent Brand at the Brand and Lifestyle Licensing Awards. How does it feel to be seen in this way? I mean, do you see yourself as a celebrity, or are you still Nadia?
I'm still always going to be Nadia, but stuff like this always just makes me pinch myself a little bit. I do find it a little bit like, ooh, really? And just the word brand just makes me think, oh my goodness, because I am ultimately just one woman, and it's really weird to kind of the celebrity word really makes me feel really awkward. I can feel myself fidgeting just saying it. Like it is one of those words that I'm not comfortable with. But I suppose maybe the not being comfortable with it makes me really enjoy my job and really do it really well, because the reality is I'm just like everybody else. I'm no different. And I get the luxury of being able to do this amazing job, but I get to come home and come home and clean my kitchen and clean out the cat litter and do all of those things, and I think that's where I get balance in a world where, I could go from being on the red carpet one morning and then be at home testing recipes in my dirty joggers. So I get a bit of balance that way. So I don't really see myself that way, but I know that, I get called a celeb. I can't even say the word. It's so weird. I get called a celeb. It's like a dirty word. It's not. But I know I'm attached to that word, but that's okay, because I have balance. And to actually to be a part of this, the licensing world is very kind of, it's so new to me. But it's a world that I didn't think I'd be that comfortable in, and weirdly I am, because it just feels like me sharing my ideas, and it's that whole being in the kitchen and really being one with the kitchen and enjoying every moment in the kitchen, whether it's your cooking, your baking, your cookware, your homewares, whatever. It's all about just kind of being really comfortable in that space.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the branded ranges that you've been involved with so far. There's one from Bliss Home, which of course that they won an award last year for the Nadia Hussain Make Life Colourful range, which was brilliant, and Wilton Bradley as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about your involvement with them, how the relationships came about?
It's one of those things. It was just like it evolved slowly through time. I knew what I wanted to do. I know the kind of things that I want to, because for me it's really important, because it's my name. It matters to me what I put out there. It matters. The products matter. It has to fit comfortably in a kitchen and make people, and it is about making life colourful, and it is about making the right product. And so it's one of those things that I've wanted to do over the last 4 years, but it has taken exactly that long. It has taken about 4 years to kind of get things off the ground and running, because I am really like, the detail really matters to me. I can't just say, yeah, there you go, here you go, let's do that, let's just get that out there. It doesn't work that way for me. If I'm with Bliss and all the homewares, for me, it had to be stuff that I could see in my kitchen. It had to be stuff that would fit comfortably in my dishwasher, things that would bring colour to my kitchen, that were practical but were beautiful at the same time. And same with Wilton. They had to be products that I could see my children using, my nephews and nieces using, and that was really important to me. So those relationships kind of evolved through time, and they've been a work in progress for the last 4 years. And I absolutely love working with both of them, because actually they listen, I listen, we talk, we have a chat, we have a laugh, and we get something beautiful out there. And that's what's really important, because whatever's out there is stuff that I would use myself, and that's key.
It's obviously very important to you that the products are authentic and they're a true representation of Nadia, of yourself.
Absolutely.
And the Bliss products in particular, they're listed in places like John Lewis and other key retailers. How does it feel when you actually see your products on a retailer's shelf?
It has to be it's if you think seeing your book is like, it's one thing when you see your cookbook on a shelf and then you see your face. Like, I literally squirm with embarrassment, and my kids are like, "Mom, let's take a picture of you. Let's." I'm like, no, don't attract any more attention. I find it really embarrassing, and I don't know why, but I've got to say, like, in those moments of embarrassment, I have to eke myself out and say, actually, you should be really proud of what you've achieved. And I think we're really bad as people, as humans, and as women, we're very bad at being proud of our achievements, because we're always kind of trying to hide away and say, oh, it's okay, being very humble. And actually, there are moments where you can just say, it's okay. We don't have to eat humble pie all the time. We can just be very proud of the work that we put into something that we've really strived to get right. And so in those, I have to say, when I walk into John Lewis, I do find myself looking for my products, and I'm like, oh, let's just go down the homeware range. And I do find myself looking, and even though I feel that sense of embarrassment because I don't want anyone to recognize me looking at my products, I actually stand there and think, actually, I should be really proud of what I've done, because, and I'm not a one-woman operation. I have my agent, I have Bliss, and, we all work together. We work really well together to create the best products. And it's a lot of back and forth. And in those moments, yes, even though I feel weird, I feel pride. Because we've worked really hard.
Absolutely, I agree. We should all be proud of our achievements.
Yeah.
And the products look fantastic as well. What advice would you have given to the Nadia of 5 years ago?
Gosh, I'd tell her it's going to be okay. The same thing I tell myself now is that even in those moments, I wish that I had told myself 5 years ago that it's going to be okay. And that's what I tell myself now, because I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years. So I tell myself today that it's going to be okay. And I think that's really important for us to console and comfort ourselves. And I think as people, we're very bad at that. We're very good at kind of loving and consoling everyone else but ourselves. And so what I do now is I say, you got to look after you first, and then, you're better at looking after everybody else. And so I would tell her that it's going to be okay.
Thank you so much, Nadia, for being with us and taking the time out of your schedule to chat with us. I'm sure that everybody who's listening has found that really informative and a really great listen.
Thank you.
That was wonderful. We can't thank you enough, Nadia. And now, just before we get going with the awards, here's Alan Didicott to say a quick hello.
Hello, Bellows people. A very good evening to each and every one of you. It's Alan Didicott here, the National Lottery's voice of the balls. This is the voice, and this is one of my balls, number 46. Apologies if it's one of your selection. I'll make sure it's back in time for the machine on Wednesday. And I'm the voice of Strictly Come Dancing too. So who do you think is going to win on that? Now, personally, I reckon Harvey, spelt H-R-V-Y, the boy with no vowels. I think he'll win it. You see if I'm not right. And if you're watching in the States, I'm the British voice on Dancing with the Stars. There's no escape, folks. No escape. Anyway, enough about me and the things I get up to. There's a job to be done. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you for your brand licensing celebrations. Let's get going, shall we? Back to you, Jackie.
We're kicking off with the Product Award categories. We received the highest number of entries ever this year for the Bellas from incredibly diverse licensees, from global players to newbie startups. Each and every one of these entries went under the scrutinising eyes of our judging panel, which entirely comprised retail buyers from right across the spectrum. Huge thanks to all of these top buyers for their time and expertise to arrive at the worthy winners and finalists. Take it away, Alan.
Our first award of this evening is for Best Brand Licensed Fashion Accessories or Lifestyle Product or Range, sponsored by The Point 1888. So let's take a look at the finalists. Here they are in all their glory. DeWalt Footwear from Work in Progress. Head Prestige Watch from Aeon Time. Hype Luggage Collection from Global Brands Group. Jules Timepieces from ICG. NASA Accessories Range from BioWorld International. Royal Ascot Collection from Radley London. Smiley Eastpak Collection from Eastpak. And Sarah Miller London Luggage Collection from Pelham Leather Goods. I'd now like to hand over to Will Stewart, Managing Director of The Point 1888, to reveal the winner.
Good evening, everybody, and a massive congratulations to all the finalists. So, the winner of the Best Brand Licensed Fashion Accessories or Lifestyle Product or Range is Royal Ascot Collection from Radley London. Congratulations.
Thanks, Will. What a great marriage of two distinct brands. And I'm no expert in these matters, but as I understand it, you can never have too many handbags. Moving on. And it's a tasty sounding award we're serving up next, that of Best Brand Licensed Food or Beverage Product or Range, sponsored by MDR Brand Management. Just feast your eyes on the finalists. They are Guinness Chocolate Cake from Finsbury Food Group, the Happy News Confectionery Collection from Creme d'Or, Historic Royal Palace's Victorian London Fog Tea from Harney & Sons, Jules Apple and Pear Gin from Warner's Distillery, Pim's Preserves from Dewar's, Reese's Peanut Butter Ice Cream Cups from Unilever, and Tango Treats from Rose Marketing. But there can only be one winner, and Daniel Avener, CEO of MDR Brand Management, is here to tell you just who that is. Daniel, over to you.
Hi, good evening everyone. I am delighted to announce that this year's winner of Best Licensed Food or Beverage Product or Range is Guinness Chocolate Cake from Finsbury Food Group. Congratulations.
Me, I could just go a slice of that cake right now, couldn't you? The judges were impressed with Finsbury's creation of this adult-orientated cake, which is bound to appeal to Guinness lovers. That's me. We now move on to the Best Brand Licensed Health and Beauty Product or Range Award, sponsored by CAA GBG. This vibrant category attracted some really innovative licensing collaborations. Take a look for yourself. Here they are. Crayola Beauty Collection from Crea. Fat Face Men's Health and Beauty Range from SLG Brands. The Illustrated Nail Faux Nail Collection from H&A. Jenna Froome's Loves PS Beauty Collection for Primark from Bravado. Love Heart's Cosmetic Brushes from Corsair Toiletries. Morris & Co. Bath & Body Advent Calendar from Heathcote and Ivory. RHS Electric Rhubarb Eau de Parfum from Floral Street Fragrances. And Sarah Miller London Tahiti Collection from Heathcote and Ivory. Now we're lucky to have Sasha Lerner, VP Brand Management EMEA of CAA GBG, to announce the winner. So over to you, Sasha.
The winner of the Best Brand License Health and Beauty Product or Range is Sarah Miller London Tahiti Collection from Heathcote and Ivory.
Sarah Miller's beautiful artwork, combined with Heathcote and Ivory's product know-how, was bound to result in sweet-smelling success for both parties, wasn't it? Now let's move on to the clothing scene with the award for Best Brand Licensed Adult Apparel Product or Range, sponsored by Wild Brain CPLG Lifestyle. Now some of these finalist ranges would suit me better than others, I have to say, but they're all wonderful. Let's take a look, shall we? Budweiser Streetwear from Hype. Coca-Cola Collection from Tommy Hilfiger. Motown Collection from Carhartt. National Trust Collection Barber for John Lewis and Partners from Barber. Penn Apparel Collection from Wilson Imports. Playboy Motocross Collection from Misguided. Royal Ascot Menswear from TM Lewin. And V&A Autumn Winter 19 Collection from People Tree. Opening the gold envelope for this award, we have Victoria Wellens, Group Brands Director of Wild Brain CPLG Lifestyle. Reveal what's inside that envelope, please, Victoria.
I'm delighted to announce the winner of the Best Brand Licensed Adult Apparel Range is National Trust Collection by Barber for John Lewis and Partners. Congratulations.
The judges loved the perfect harmony of the shared Fresh Air brand values of National Trust and Barber, and with John Lewis on board too, it was bound to be a winner. Now for our next one. These awards are the gifts that just keep on giving, especially our next category, which is Best Brand Licensed Gifting Product or Range, sponsored by the Jockey Club. Just look at these lovely finalists. They are the Happy News greeting cards from Moonpig. Historic Royal Palaces Tower of London 2019 coin collection from the Royal Mint. London Underground Johnston 100 collection from LU Collections. Oasis home fragranced gift sets from Bahoma London. PlayStation gift range from GBI. Monopoly collection from I Want One of Those. Morris & Co. bouquets from Bloom & Wild. And vintage Kellogg's socks from Roy Lowe and Sons. I will now hand over to Rebecca Hamilton, Group Head of Marketing of the Jockey Club, to reveal the worthy winner. Whose name is on that winner's card, Rebecca?
I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the Best Brand Licensed Gifting Product or Range is Vintage Kellogg's Socks from Roy Lowe and Sons.
Well, there we are. Who says socks have to be boring? These ones are worthy of being added to my Christmas wish list. As Tony the Tiger would say, they're great! Or something like that. We now have a broad-reaching award, that of Best Brand Licensed Homewares, Kitchen and Tabletop Product, all range, sponsored by Pringles. Let's take a look at the finalists. Here they are. Fairy Non-Bio-Delicate Wash from Star Brands. Field and Fur by Jane Bannon Homewares from Pyramid International. I Like Birds Marie Curie Homewares from My Gifts Trade. Monsoon Champagne Mirage Cutlery Collection from Arthur Price. Morris & Co. Mugs, Ceramics and Tableware from Spode. Sarah Miller London Tahiti Tableware Collection from Port Merion. V&A Built Collection from Kitchencraft. And Yvonne Ellen Ceramics range from 51%. Quite a bit of variety there. Announcing this award, we're lucky to have Richard Pink, Managing Director of Pink Key Licensing, which represents Pringles, to open the envelope.
And the winner of the Best Licensed Homeware, Kitchen and Tabletop Product or Range is... ready? Morris & Co. Mugs, Ceramics and Tableware from Spode.
Designs that have stood the test of time, coupled with high-end manufacture and the endorsement of respected homewares brand Spode. This collection was the talk of the table with the judges. We now go down the age range a bit with the award for Best Brand Licensed Children's Product or Range, sponsored by Start Licensing. Without further ado, let's take a look at the finalists. They are Discovery Kids Scouts UK Collection from Scouts UK. Hello Kitty Collection for Primark from Blues Clothing. London Underground Train Set from Train Yard. National Trust Nature Hideaway Kit from the Den Kit Company. Nerf Clothing Range for George at Asda from Smith & Brooks. Ninja Fashion Range for Primark from Fashion UK. Science Museum Technologic range from Clementoni. And Scion Baby Collection from Uniqlo. We have the one and only Ian Downs, Director of Start Licensing, sponsor of this category, to reveal who made Child's Play of this award. Downsy, come on.
I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the Best Brand Licensed Children's Product or Range is the National Trust Nature Hideaway Kit from the Den Kit Company.
What a great way to facilitate kids enjoying the outdoors. Just perfect escapism for the current times. We now turn up the wattage a bit with our next award for Best Brand Licensed Electrical and DIY Products or Range, sponsored by Golden Goose. And just look at the licensees who are completely plugged in to the potential. We have the Emma Bridgewater Collection from Russell Hobbs. Emma Bridgewater Hepburn Voice from VQ. Goodyear Car Accessories from Avron. Jules Mobile Accessories from VQ. PlayStation Icons Light from Palado. Sophie Conran Garden Tools from Bergon and Ball. And VO5 Electricals range from Conair. Well, the person with the all-important gold envelope for this award is Adam Bass, Managing Director of Golden Goose. Reveal all, Adam. Go on, son.
Good evening, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of the Bella for Best Brand Licensed Electrical and DIY Products or Range. And the winner is Emma Bridgewater Collection from Russell Hobbs. Congratulations.
With two contenders in this category, Emma Bridgewater knocked spots off the competition and made toast of the other finalists. See what I did there? Shows I know my Emma Bridgewater ranges, eh? Oh, yes. Our next award taps into all the DIY and home improvements that have gone on in the last 6 months. which must have fed into the hands of those in our next category, that of Best Brand Licensed Home Decor Product or Range, sponsored by Asgard Media. Just take a look at these amazing finalists. They are Laura Ashley Carpet Collection from Brinton's Carpets, London Underground Volume 11 range from Kirkby Design, Morris & Co Rug Collection from Brink and Campman, National Geographic Sustainable Home Textile Collection from Dreamtex, Natural History Museum Colour by Nature Paint range from Farrow & Ball, Natural History Museum Wallpaper Collection from Divine Savages, Oasis Home Bedding Collection Autumn Winter 19 from Clark & Clark, and V&A Archive Views range from Surface View. The job of revealing which of these incredible finalists is the winner falls to Kelvin Gardner, owner of Asgard Media. Take it away, Kelvin.
Hi everybody, great to be with you this evening. And the award for the Best Brand Licensed Home Decor Product or Range goes to Natural History Museum Colour by Nature Paint range from Farrow & Ball.
There we are. This is no whitewash of a winner, Farrow & Ball. Go paint the town red or whatever colour you fancy with your award, guys. Well, now we have a special award for the Inspired Innovation Brand Licensed Product or Range for a truly inspired product creation involving a brand license. Entries could be for a single product range of any type or experiential in nature. The sponsor of this award is Discovery. Here are the finalists. They are Albert Einstein Leather Jacket from Levi's, Ed Stafford Shelter Kit from the Den Kit Company, Goodyear Pet Tire Tube from Zumi, the I Like Birds Bird Strike Prevention Window Film from Stickers 4, the Jules Pet Collection from Rosewood, Liberty London Beeswax Wraps from Beeswax Wrap Co, Marmite Personalised Jars from Custom Getaway, and Van Gogh Museum Skateboard Art from the Skate Room. And it's over to Alison Pay, Head of Creative International Licensing of Discovery Communications. Please open that envelope, Alison.
And the winner of the Inspired Innovation Brand Licensed Product or Range Award is Liberty London Beeswax Wraps from Beeswax Wrap Company. Congratulations.
With sustainability very much the watchword of today's living, this solution with the gorgeous Liberty prints is not only a lot more attractive than a piece of cling film or foil, but a lot more environmentally friendly. Well, that brings us to the end of the product categories and a fabulous bunch of winners, if you don't mind me saying. I'd now like to hand over to Director of Max Publishing, Rob Willis, to introduce our next set of awards.
There is no denying that retailers in the UK have needed to rise to many challenges over the last year. So many have shown their true mettle, as evidenced by tonight's finalists. Whether bricks and mortar, pure play or omni-channel, they have each grasped the opportunities of aligning with brands that chime perfectly with the evolving tastes of the buying public. Brands have shown over the years that they drive footfall at retail. It is this retail execution that we are privileged to reward tonight with these next set of awards. Alan, please take us through the categories and the worthy contenders.
My pleasure, Rob. Our first retail award is for Best High Street Fashion Brand Licensed Retailer Execution. Whew! Sponsored by Beanstalk. And we have some well-known names vying for this trophy. They are ASOS, Fatface, Misguided, Next, Primark, Pull & Bear, Uniqlo, and Zara. fashionista herself, Louise French, SVP Business Development and Operations at Beanstalk, is here to flash the gold envelope. Go for it, Louise.
And the winner of the Best High Street Fashion Retailer Brand Licence Execution is Primark. Congratulations.
Primark has continued to chime with the public like no other retailer, which includes tapping into the brands that resonate with the buying public's tastes. We now move on to the Best Department Store or Mixed Retailer Brand Licensed Execution Award, sponsored by Good Housekeeping, which this year is celebrating its 100th anniversary. Good going, GH. Well done. And here are the worthy finalists. They are Argos, B&M, Home Bargains, Fenwick, John Lewis and Partners, and WH Smith. There is one winner. To tell us who is the hero of this award, Sharon Douglas, Chief Brand Officer of Hearst.
And the winner of the Best Department Store or Mixed Retailer Brand License Execution is John Lewis and Partners.
From bed linen to candles, stationery to perfume, brand licensing pervades pretty much every department of the John Lewis and Partners emporiums. Or is it Emporia? Anyway, that's what makes it a very worthy winner of this esteemed award. We now move to another hotly contested category, that of Best Supermarket Brand Licensed Execution, sponsored by TSBA. Just take a look at the stellar lineup of finalists for this one. They are Aldi, Asda, Morrison's, Sainsbury's, Tesco, and Waitrose. Well, the person who has the answer as to who will receive the trophy is Joe Edwards, Head of Global Licensing of TSBA. Who's clinched it, Joe?
Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the Best Supermarket Brand Licensed Execution is Asda.
Our supermarkets have really come into their own as essential retailers throughout this pandemic, and brand licensing has inextricably very much played a part of this, with Asda having been incredibly active. Well, now for our final retail award, the Best Specialist Retailer Brand Licensed Execution, sponsored by Brand Genuity. Let's have a look at the finalists. They are Boots, DFS, Dunelm, Game UK, Specsavers, Superdrug, and Vision Express. Well, each of these is master in their own field. But which retailer will have its name on that trophy engraving? Over to Terry Niadner, Managing Director of Brand Genuity Europe, to reveal all.
For Best Specialist Retailer Brand License Execution is Boots.
Well, I have to admit, I've devoured Boots' recent Christmas catalogue, which, as ever, is peppered with great brand licensed collaborations. That's what I live for. Right, having now rewarded product innovation and retailing excellence, we now turn our attention to the brands themselves. Ian, over to you.
Without the brands and the astute management of these crown jewels, there would be no licensing in this sector. In the last 5 years alone, we have seen a huge increase in the sheer diversity of IP that have successfully translated their brand values onto all manner of products through licensing. We celebrate this with the following 5 awards. Alan, back to you.
Thanks, Ian. Our very first Licensed Property Award is for Best Licensed Heritage or Institution Brand. The sponsor of this category is also our headline sponsor of the Bellas, BLE, part of Informa Markets. Well done, by the way, for your Festival of Licensing. No mean feat to pull that off. Very impressive. Anyway, just take a look at the veritable names in the finalists' roster. They are Historic Royal Palaces, Morris & Co, the National Gallery, National Trust, Natural History Museum, Royal Ascot, Royal Horticultural Society, RHS, Science Museum, and Victoria and Albert Museum, V&A. What a lineup. Well, we have the wonderful Anna Knight, VP of Licensing at Informa Markets, to announce the winner. Anna, it's all yours.
And the winner of the Best Licensed Heritage or Institution brand is Natural History Museum.
Very well done. Natural History Museum. Not just a great cultural institution, but your intuitive brand licensing program is fabulous at extending the reach way beyond a visit to the museum itself. We now have the award for Best Licensed Lifestyle Brand, sponsored by Products of Change. The finalists are Crayola, Discovery, Goodyear, Hawaiian Tropic, Head, House Beautiful, London Underground, and PlayStation. Well, what a strong array of brands. The person with the power to reveal the winner is Helena Mansell-Stouffer, founder of Products of Change and director of the upcoming Sustainability in Licensing Conference. Tell us whose name is in that winner's envelope, Helena.
I'm delighted to announce that the Best Licensed Lifestyle brand is Goodyear.
Well, I don't know about you, but I never tire of hearing about Goodyear's licensing prowess. Did you get what I did there? Oh dear. Enough of my puns. Let's move on to a new award category. That of Best Licensed Design-Led Lifestyle Brand, sponsored by Poetic Brands. Another clutch of very strong contenders. Let's take a look. They are Emoji, The Happy News, Hello Kitty, I Like Birds, Laura Ashley, Scion, and Smiley. So let's hear from Poetic Brands, who was the most on trend this year.
And the winner of the Best Licensed Design-Led Lifestyle Brand is... Congratulations to Scion.
Mr. Fox to Spike the Hedgehog. Scion's Scandi design in zesty colours has definitely added some extra zing to the design-led brand licensing arena, and that can only be good news. Now, I do like the sound of this next category, Best Licensed Food or Beverage Brand, sponsored by Penn. Just mentioning the finalists makes me a little bit hungry and thirsty, but here we go. They are Baileys, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Guinness, Tango, Vintage Kellogg's, Reese's, and Walls. Giuseppe Varana, Vice President, Division Manager of Licensing at Head, is the man with the gold envelope. Giuseppe, please reveal the winner.
So, I'm thrilled to announce the winner of the best licensed food or beverage brand, which is Coca-Cola. Congratulations.
To be fair, there's no denying the extra fizz that Coca-Cola has added to all manner of licensing collaborations, from the huge raft of great fashion partnerships to the inspired tie-up with Tic Tacs. Very good going. And that brings us to the final Licensed Brand Award, and the penultimate award of this evening. It's for Best Licensed Fashion or Talent Brand, sponsored by H&A. Without further ado, let's take a look at the smorgasbord of finalists for this award. They are Emma Bridgewater, Fat Face, Jules, Julie Dodsworth, Katie Alice, Oasis, Nadia, and Sarah Miller London. Now there's one person who knows the winner, and that's Holly Orton, Licensing and Marketing Manager of H&A. Tell all, Holly.
I'm delighted to announce the winner of Best Fashion or Talent Brand is Sarah Miller London.
The stars were always in alignment for you, Sarah. Artistically incredibly talented, but a visionary in how you've crafted your brand's evolution. Full credit to you, that's what I say. And that leaves us just one final award, a very special one. Here's Octane 5's Business Development Director, EMEA, Denise Penn, sponsor of the Brand Ambassador Award, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege for me to be here again this evening representing Octane 5 as we give the Brand Ambassador Award for the Bellas 2020. At Octane 5, we're really passionate about the licensing industry and passionate about the people within it. I'm now going to hand back to Jackie to find out who is the deserving recipient of this great accolade. Thank you.
Well, this year's Bellas event is taking place virtually. That does not take away from the reality of these awards, not least our grand finale, the Brand Licensing Ambassador Award, which is presented to a very real human being whose contribution is shaping brand licensing today and beyond. The special individual we recognise with this award has had the vibe of brand licensing coursing through their veins, even before they knew that's what it was. Over the course of the last 20 years, they've championed many brands, from stalwart FMCG household names to zeitgeist designers, many of whom had never ever thought of capitalising on their IP until they met this champion. Our award recipient has brought numerous manufacturers together with leading retailers, and on top of that, nurtured a company culture based on their own far-sighted brand values. Having graduated with a marketing degree, they entered the workplace feasting on a smorgasbord of brands, the pick and mix of retail in the Kingfisher Group, in roles which spanned health and beauty, homewares, confectionery, which served to provide a solid bedrock for their next move to John Lewis, into buying and strategy roles, which resulted in a deep delve into all manner of product areas, not least engineering a deal between wallpaper design brand Harlequin and towel manufacturer Christie's, and they didn't even realise that they'd brokered their very first licensing deal. Though they remain a John Lewis loyal fan to this day, the enticement of a role that would involve them working with amazing brands and amazing people and amazing offices saw them joining leading brand licensing agency, TLC that was, now CAA GBG, which was to start tonight's winner's immersion in the exciting marriage of brands, manufacturers and retailers, and bringing the collaboration to life for the consumer. They were heady, wonderful years, but the yearn to start their own business and to continue a legacy of the 3 generations before them was too strong an urge. So, in 2014, they left behind the safety of this leading brand licensing agency to form their own business based on their ideals and principles, dedicated to delivering for the brands they represented, the retailers with whom they forged partnerships, enriching the lives of the people in their team, as well as society as a whole. Their commitment to donating 11% of their annual profits back to charities chosen by their employees was not a throwaway gesture, but a heartfelt belief. With a mantra of convention ends here, they have nevertheless forged licensing partnership that over-deliver on brand magic. Innocent and Oliver Bonas, Leon and John Lewis, and many, many more. They're not in it for the quick win, evidenced by the respective appointments of Metropolitan Police and Mumsnet. I'm not sure which is the most challenging, answering to the Met's Dame Cressida Dick and London Mayor Sadiq Khan, or a bunch of exacting mums. But they're no match for them. They've got it handled. I well remember a conversation with tonight's award recipient a fair few years ago, when I was questioning them about whether one of their award submissions, which was so off the wall, I wondered whether it actually met the criteria, to which they floored me with their company remit of, if you're going to be in this business, you need to be the driver of change. Well, drive change in the field of brand licensing, they most definitely have. And they're a long way off finishing yet. I feel truly privileged to announce that the Brand Licensing Ambassador 2020 Award goes to Will Stewart, founder of The Point, 1888. Normally now, there would be a standing ovation as the totally surprised winner made their way to the stage to give an impromptu speech. But this year, that is obviously not possible. However, I am delighted to be able to share a message from Will, who we surprised a few days ago with the good news. So, over to you, Will, and very well done.
Wow, so this is really special. Thank you very, very much to Ian and Jackie. You guys are phenomenal for everything you do for us and our industry and keeping us all together in these difficult times. I have been keeping this massive secret. Been doing that for the last couple of days, and when Jackie and Ian phoned, they were like, tell no one. So I stuck to those rules, and then I did actually break those rules last night where I told my twins. And I said to them, Daddy's won a prize. And Harry immediately responded, is it sweets? And I was like, no, it's much, much better than sweets. And Ava responded, Daddy, there is nothing better than sweets. But this is better than sweets. This is, for me, this is better than sweets. I'd love to be celebrating with my team and all of you, but as you can see, there really is literally nobody here. It's just me and 1,000 Lego figures. So, look, I'm really honoured and humble and really proud to win this award. I started a company 5 years ago, built on purpose, and I was wanting to drive positive change in the industry and, you know, make an impact in an industry that really cared. And this industry is special. It does really care. And so to win an ambassador award within licensing is a phenomenal achievement and a validation on everything I wanted to do. I'm extremely proud to be part of this industry, and I'm really looking forward to, you know, continuing on and continuing to work with you all. So enjoy your evening, everybody. I'd love to say join me at the bar and I'll get you a drink, but that'll have to be until next time.
Wow, that was great. Huge congratulations to every single one of our winners.
The trophies will be winging their way to you over the next few days. And don't forget to tweet your pics to #Bellas20.
We're now all off to the session room. See you there for a drink or 10.
Next year, I truly hope we'll all be together in person. But for now, big cheers from all of us. Come on, to the session room!
Cheers!
Well, as the team says, the night is still young, so charge your glasses and make your way to the session rooms for some socially distanced fun. Who knows, I may see you in one of them, and hopefully see you next year when we'll do it for real, all being well. Good night.